that's something we'll sit down and talk about at the end of spring. Right now, I'd probably say yes, but that changes. That changed each week last year, so it's hard to kind of say it's going to be a definite right now. But we cross-train. Since we've been here, we talk about cross-training guys. And recruiting guys that you can cross-train. So it'll be a consistent thing as long as we're here. So.
How did he look?
He's looked good. He's done some really good things. He's going to help us a lot. He brings a lot of size and athleticism to the field. So he's a guy that, again, we try to recruit multiple position guys, and he's one of those.
What do you want Jordan to do to kind of take his game to where you think he can take it?
I think if he's just Jordan, plays to his strengths, and don't worry about the things that he's not, his weaknesses, you might say. Just be himself and go play and have fun, because he's got all the tools to be as good as he wants to be, and I think he still has some untapped potential that hopefully we'll continue to develop on and make him as good as he can be.
It's kind of simplistic, but with him and Leonard, is it in both cases about run defense when it's there and not just being the guy that gets after the quarterback? You kind of be saying concentrate those.
Yeah, we want those guys to be well-rounded against the run and the pass. It's easy to just roll by the guy, whether it's run or pass, but there's a lot of different things, understanding situation, the defense called, down in distance, maybe a formation the offense is giving us and different things like that help them understand how to play those things. But yeah, try to make them both well-rounded, and that's what we try to do at every guy at that position.
Were you surprised that Leonard came back?
No, I really wasn't. I could see it in his eyes that he really enjoyed Georgia in the time that he's been here, and I think his family's enjoyed it too. So it really didn't surprise me, but it's obviously something, when you have the opportunity, you have to sit down and decide, and, in his best interest to, go through things, going through in the off season to get to better chances next year.
From a coaching standpoint, sorry, you're the only coach we may get today, but how does Saturday different? I know it's a third scrimmage, just happens to be in full view of people.
Sure.
So what are you all looking for? What are you all looking for?
The biggest thing, we go out there and look for effort, mental energy, playing with technique and toughness. We look for that basically every day, whether it's a scrimmage or it's practice, and we're trying to train that into those guys and get them to the point where it just becomes habit. So I think if we could just go out there and see those things improve or get to the point where we want them to be, I think it'll be what we want to get out of it. Because it's a glorified scrimmage, but we're also, the calls will be pretty minimal, from both sides. It'll be pretty vanilla, and we're just looking for guys that are willing to go out there and play and get after it and have some, some toughness. Obviously injuries, are a big thing. You don't want to, get any kind of freak thing happen and things like that. So we actually have 2 practices after the G-Day, so we still got a little bit of work to do.
A couple more questions, guys.
Thank you. Obviously, last year, y'all just installing y'all's packages on this time of year. But right now, fast forward, is things just been that much smoother and everything kind of second nature yet to a lot of your veteran guys, or still some stuff?
I would yes and no. There's the way to practice and the way practice flows and how we want guys to not take to the ground and stay up, and those type things have gotten a lot better. The off-season conditioning has really helped because we really amped up the amount of running and things like that so they can sustain through practice. And as far as just an understanding, it's not the first time they've heard us talk to them about certain skills and techniques that we do, so you can kind of coach them a little more to always talk to them about it's not remedial classes anymore, it's 200 level classes now, because hopefully a year from now you'll be in 300 and 400 level and kind of advance as a player.
You mentioned the running to all the stuff that Coach Hockey has had. Those guys. Have you seen the guys just be able to
yeah. It really, those guys are able to go out there. The practices we're kind of putting them through, and the length and the number of reps, it was hard to sustain. You could see it kind of get to a point, and then it sort of tapered off. Now they're able to stay at a high level. And a lot of that, again, is exactly the reason is because of what we've done. Coach Hockey's done in the off season, and we've obviously done a heck of a lot more running than we did in the past, and that was one of the emphases we wanted to make as a coaching staff and Coach Rick to get to that point.
Last question.
Tim Kimbrough seems to be more confident this year.
Yeah.
Is his game improving?
He's had a really good spring. He's come along. At his position, inside backer, you really have to be very vocal. You have to set the defense, kind of run the show, make sure everybody understands. And he's actually really done a good job with that. Some of that's been the second year in the system, but he's had a good spring.